Changed my whole office around again. It just wasn't feeling right, and yeah, this feels right again. I've actually never had my desk here in the office, so this is new. We'll see if this lasts. I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about, why do some filmmakers succeed in a massive way, and then others, they don't. They might be professional in the sense that they're getting paid and they're, that is like their career or their job, but they never really seem to go past just like being a filmmaker. They're not like one of those people that we look up to that's shooting huge projects or doing super interesting things. They're a filmmaker, and I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but I've been thinking about why is that? Let's call this the difference between an amateur and professional filmmaker. First, a couple life updates. So yeah, I changed my office around. It just wasn't feeling right. I don't know, just didn't feel good having my desk right there, and felt like things were just piling up, and I just have too much stuff in here. I really need to like reorganize this space and figure out how to use it better. Started using DaVinci Resolve. From here on in, hopefully every video will be edited in Resolve. And so far, I'm very much liking it. I think it's the right move. I think if you want to be serious about filmmaking, you should probably be on DaVinci right now. Do you call it DaVinci or Resolve? Resolve, DaVinci, DaVinci Resolve. Also, we're more than a quarter way through the year, which means my sabbatical is fast approaching. If you didn't hear, next year I'm gonna stop making YouTube videos for an indefinite amount of time. I don't know if it's just gonna be like 6 months and I'm gonna come back, or I'm gonna realize that I just wanna chill and do something else for a little while. I have no idea, but it's really helped this year in terms of just like kind of giving me an end to this never-ending project of YouTube. I can't stress how good taking off some time is, and I haven't even done the sabbatical year. It's already helped so much. And the family, they're doing great. Prince is doing really good. The kids are growing way too fast. Kai's in school, so he's getting sick like every other week, it feels like. The kids, they're growing up way too fast, which is another reason why I want to take a sabbatical at this time. I feel like it's just me and Princess being such an important part of their life. It's just so short, and I really want to be present there for it. So yeah, but things are good. Also been growing my hair out. It's starting to be kind of long. Thanks, Peter, for inspiring me. Anyways, sorry for wasting your time if you don't care. Thanks for the 5 of you who commented video starts at whatever this time is. So I was at NAB last week, and I met a bunch of incredibly talented people, like really successful people, way more successful than me, working on like massive Hollywood projects. If you don't know what NAB is, it's like a camera convention basically. It's like the Comic-Con of filmmakers and gear. Every company, everything is there, and it's really fun. And the more really successful people I meet, the more I feel like they all have this one thing in common, and that is obsession. You have no idea how obsessed with filmmaking the top filmmakers are. Like, they are so deep in it. They're literally putting up, like movie theater screens and pixel peeping every little bit of an image, the lenses, all of that stuff to make sure that it works for their story. And I feel like they all have this crazy hunger to just keep learning, keep doing new things, keep innovating, finding new techniques, learning more things all of the time. It almost like surprise scares me how just like it feels like they're almost like crazy because they're so obsessed with what they do. And I think that is how you become the best at whatever it is you're doing. It's not enough to just like have some talent and kind of practice it, kind of do it once in a while, but most of the time you're just kind of chilling. No, you have to be obsessed if you want to be one of the top people. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to be that. I think there's a sweet spot for everybody. But if you want to be at the top of your game, you need to become obsessed with it. Just the airport, about to hop on a plane to New York for one of the I Think I'm Sick film screenings. One of the things I didn't mention is what I don't notice meeting these people is beforehand, you kind of have this picture of they're like God, like half God human beings, and they're just like, they're born with it. And that's not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is this obsession, and that's really encouraging, that if you or me aren't born with godlike abilities, that doesn't mean that we can't be one of those really successful people, because I think they're just normal people. That's what I've noticed. They're just normal, chill, cool people for the most part. Some people not as chill, but all very, very normal. All right, time to hop on this plane. And you might be asking, why am I talking about this now? Well, it's because I feel this new like wave of obsession for me with filmmaking. I haven't felt this way in a couple of years, it feels like. When I first started, I just dug in deep. Anything and everything that I could learn about filmmaking, I was just absorbing and trying things and learning new techniques, trying new gear. Everything about filmmaking was just so interesting to me. And then, things changed and I became more obsessed about YouTube, I feel like, and just the way YouTube works and the business side of things and trying to figure this whole new world out. That kind of started taking over a little bit, and I started to become obsessed about YouTube. And now I feel like we've kind of come full circle again, and I'm just so into filmmaking. I feel like when I started doing YouTube, it was pretty hard to get into still. It was kind of hard to figure out. Yeah, we had amazing tools like a 5D Mark II and full frame digital camera with shallow depth of field. It was incredible. But you still had to do some interesting things to like make it look good. You needed to really know how to use it. Whereas like now the cameras are so good, and like if you need, you can just you want some shallow depth of field, you just pull out your phone here and you put it into cinematic mode. And like it's just so easy now. And I feel like that kind of made me bored with filmmaking. It became too easy. And so that's why I'm diving into the deep end. Going to Resolve, learning everything I can about Resolve. I may or may not have gotten the new. If you know, you know. Just a little peek. I'm going into like this whole new level of filmmaking, which I was going towards before I started doing YouTube, but then YouTube kind of distracted me a little bit in good ways. And I'm not saying it was a bad thing at all. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for YouTube, but I can just feel this like new excitement of like, I want to try bigger things. I want to try higher quality productions. I want to try things like the feature film with Danny and other feature films that we're hopefully gonna make soon. I can feel the obsession right now, and that is so exciting, and I'm just trying to milk it for everything. Now, the problem is that obsession, or I think it's actually the feeling of that obsession, doesn't always stay consistent. It kind of goes in ebbs and flows. And this is where it gets tricky. Obsession alone isn't necessarily enough. You also need time. For example, when I started doing filmmaking, I was obsessed, but I was not good by any means. I needed time with that obsession to keep learning and growing. And like now I'm pretty decent at it. But you also need discipline. When you don't have that feeling of the obsession, you need discipline to keep learning, to keep making, to keep growing, innovating, and not stopping. This is, I think, where a lot of people just quit. They think, oh, like the passion's gone. It's not for me after all. I'm gonna go do something else. And they quit. But I think that's when you need to be disciplined and tell yourself, remind yourself that you are obsessed about this thing, even if you're not really feeling it. But once that feeling hits of being obsessed again, man, you need to milk it. Like, milk it for everything that you can. Watch every tutorial, learn about new gear, do everything you can, make cool projects. Just milk it. Don't let it go to waste. These times where you're feeling that obsession, I think, are the biggest times of growth for you and your career. Yeah, I think it's obsession. I think people that are really, really good at something get absolutely obsessed with it. And you can tell when you start talking to those people, you're like, whoa, what? What is all this stuff you're talking about? I've never even heard of this stuff, because they're just so deep in that thing. They've spent so much time with it and so much time obsessing over it that, yeah, they're pretty good. So right now, if you feel like you are not where you want to be in your career, do not give up. Do not give up on your obsession. Remind yourself. And hopefully that feeling comes back soon. If you don't have it right now, if you do have it right now, keep going. Don't stop. Just keep going. Learn everything you can. Keep making. Do all that. And if you don't feel it, stay disciplined. Keep going, because it will come back. And it's really, really fun when it does come back. Man, I'm just very, very excited about filmmaking. This thing has just been taunting me for like a week or not that it's gonna make me any better of a filmmaker, but man, it's very, very exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna milk this. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this random me talking about stuff. Okay, bye guys.